Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 8, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 134 of me answering your immigration related questions. As you can see, I have all your comments pulled up in front of me. As always, before beginning this video, as I mentioned in every video, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State, and everything I recommend or suggest while answering your questions, please make sure to verify that information from the official sources, from the official government website. Okay, so let's start with the very first comment question from Shanake Douglas 9483. Sorry about mispronouncing the names because YouTube no longer shows me the names, it shows me the handle. I don't know why, so I don't know why they decided to change it. So the question is, good day, I am from Jamaica. My visa class is F24. My priority date is June 19, 2015, and I got documentary qualified May 2023. How much longer do I have to wait for the interview, I guess? Awesome. All right. So since you were already documentarily qualified in May 2023, it's been, let's see, so we are in July right now. So it's about May, June, July. So 2 months. 2 months. You're definitely within normal processing times. Most of the times after the availability of the immigrant visa, it can take up to 6 months. Personally, in my case, it took 9 months whenever I was petitioning for my parents. And I have actually seen some people commenting on this channel, it took as long as 1 year after the availability of the immigrant visa. What it really depends on is how busy the US Embassy is in the country where you will be, and in Jamaica, I think it's in Kingston. I'm pretty sure it's in Kingston, US Embassy. They are pretty busy. I'm definitely aware of that because I do get a lot of comments from people from Jamaica, and looks like they are waiting quite some time. One of the things that you can do, honestly, it's a little too early to call them and ask them because they might not have scheduled the interview yet, but I think they should schedule the interview within the next few months. You might not get the actual notice for the interview because by the regulations that they have with the Department of Homeland Security or Department of State, I think they are more responsible for, whatever is happening in the US embassies. They have to send you the notice 30 days before the actual interview. So for example, if you get your interview scheduled for, say, January 2024, which sounds kind of reasonable from now, considering that it's been, might be a little bit earlier than that, but let's say they schedule it for January 1st, 2024. You will not get the interview notice up until December 1st, 2023, so that you have 30 days for the medical examination. So don't be surprised if you don't hear from them for a while, but in a couple of months, I would say give it another couple of months. Call them and ask them and see if they tell you when the interview was scheduled for, because sometimes you do get a nice person on the phone and they actually can look into their system and tell you when the interview is scheduled for. Don't be upset if they don't give you that information, but a lot of times, they don't have a problem doing that. So let's take a look at the website, and I'll give you the information for the US Embassy in Jamaica. Just so that you have it for future reference. By the way, whoever's watching this video, if you're searching for US Embassy in your country, this is the website where you can find it. It's usembassy.gov. So we're gonna scroll down. They're all in alphabetical order by the country name. So we're gonna scroll down to Jamaica. There you go, and let's see if we have one or if we have multiple US embassies in Jamaica. I think it might have been just one in Kingston, but let's see. My geography is not very good, and the internet is not very good apparently. Okay, so here it is in Kingston. Here's their phone number right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the response right here, and I'll also give you the link to this page so that you don't have to search for it. All right, so let's move on to the next comment from Yao3718. Am going through a consular process Chargeability area is Ghana. Priority date is March 2017. The date of filing on the visa bulletin is now September 2017. However, I'm not able to have access to the CAC platform to even file my DS-260 affidavit of support, even pay fees. Sent a public inquiry twice to NVC, but the response is that they can only process when a visa is available. What is the next step I need to take to be able to have the NVC portal open up? Yeah, thank you very much for the question. So you didn't tell me which family preference category it is, but I'm thinking it is F1 because I've heard quite, I would say at least 5 people already on this channel, just on this channel from the comments, at least 5 people with exactly the same problem that you are describing in first family preference category, F1. And basically, whoever's watching, to explain what happened, if we look at the July 2023 visa bulletin, F1 category, graph B, it is now showing September 2017, which means that people with the priority date in September 1st, 2017, as of right now, July 2023, their NVC portal is supposed to be opening up so that they can start documentary qualification process, submitting the DS-260, affidavit of support, paying the fees, submitting the civil documents. While if we go to the previous June 2023, see June 2023 visa bulletin, which is a month earlier, and we look at the graph B again, it is showing January 2017. So it looks like there was a really nice jump from January to September, like 9-month jump, which is, it's very good. The problem is a lot of people that are somewhere in between, and it seems to be March 2017 that seems to be affected, because literally all 5 people, I think it was at least 5, I think you're 5th or 6th person, definitely, at least 5th person that is mentioning this. They all had the priority date in March 2017, and it seems like almost they skipped. So what I'm thinking, it's a possibility, because again, I always recommend whenever it comes to stuff like this, if you see yourself current on either graph B or graph A, depending on which stage of the process you are, and you know that you're already 1 month, 2 months overdue, I always recommend submitting the public inquiry for sure. But as you can see, to you personally, Yao, they already responded twice saying that no, it's not current yet. So I am suspecting that there was some kind of either mistake or somebody jumped the gun, I don't know, something happened, and the update that we see on the July visa bulletin is not a correct update, because it jumped 9 months, but seems like a lot of people that are still back in March 2017, their portal still didn't open up. So there has to be some kind of discrepancy somewhere in between. So what I would recommend you to do, yeah, you already submitted a public inquiry form twice, and they responded that it's not, the priority is not current, so something is up. What I would recommend doing is give it another week, because in about a week we're gonna have the brand new visa bulletin that will come out for August 2023. And personally, I know I myself am very curious to see what's going to happen with F1. And I know there's a few people already waiting for August 2023 visa bulletin, specifically for first preference category on the graph B, because of the same exact issue that you are having here. So let's wait for another week. When the new visa bulletin comes out, I always make an updated video on, and compare, and we will see. If they update this one going back to, say, maybe March, April, May, June, July 2017, then you know that everything is good and this was just either a mistake or something happens, the calculation, the way they average it out, it wasn't correct and they updated it and everything is good. But if we see the same numbers, or maybe it moves further, then we know that something is going on, and then from then on, we can start searching for other avenues where you now have to ask your petitioner to reach out to, the local elected officials in the state where he or she lives to resolve this problem. Because then it's okay, so one time they did a mistake, okay, understandable. Now, second month, in a row, that's a little bit questionable. So give it a little bit more time. August 2023 visa bulletin should be coming up. I think in less than a week we should see the updated numbers there. Sorry you're dealing with this. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Shanakai Douglas again. Good day, my mom is filing for me. I got documentarily qualified. Have any idea when okay, so I already answered that. I'm gonna post the response here again, just letting you know that this was addressed. Moving further to Iramahsan 4989. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Amazing video. Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you for watching. Moving further to Denise 24. Denise, thank you for another comment. I really appreciate it. This icon right here means Denise is one of the top commenters on this channel. So Denise says, hi sir, can you update us with the new visa bulletin? It seems it's past time they have to update us. Yes, so it's actually not past time. I know Denise, I think you're one of those people that you experiencing the same issue with the visa bulletin being over and you're behind of what it's showing. But like I've been just explaining to Yao 3718, just about a week and we should see the August 2023 visa bulletin. As soon as it comes out, same day or next day, I will make a video on the visa bulletin, comparing August to July and then talking a little bit about June for all the family preference categories on both graph A and also graph B. So if whoever is not subscribed and you're interested in seeing the comparison of the visa bulletins, make sure to subscribe. Okay, moving further to the next question coming from Nathan, Florida, 25. Hello, I'm a Canadian citizen and my dad is an American citizen. I really hope my dad will sponsor me for this. He might. I am under 21. Okay, so since you are under 21 and your dad is a US citizen, it's really straightforward process. I-130 petition, it's going to be immediate relative category. So it's gonna be, we can actually take a look and see approximately how long it takes now. So I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to demonstrate some navigation on USCIS.gov, which is the official government website for US citizenship and immigration services. This is actually where your dad would start the petition, the I-130 petition, online. It's available online, so it's very simple, very straightforward. I'm gonna pull up the forms. I'll paste in the comment the form so that you can send it to him so that he can start it. The sooner he starts, the better, because it still takes time while it's being the fastest because it's immediate relative category, but it still takes some time because there's administrative processing involved. So let's take a look how long it takes. We're gonna go to tools and then we're gonna scroll down to case status online, where you can check the case status once you have it, but we're gonna scroll down to USCIS processing times information right here, and we're going to select form I-130. The category is going to be US citizen filing for spouse, parent, or child under 21. There you go. This is going to be the one, depending on which service center is going to go to, depending on which state your dad lives in. So we're going to just do all field offices for average, and looks like it's 29 months. So even this is still quite a long time you have to wait for the I-130 to be processed. Let's see, California Service Center, 14 months. So California Service Center significantly less. Let's see, National Benefits Center, this is led there online, 15 months. Wow, these numbers are all over the place. Let's see, Nebraska Service Center, 15 and a half months. Let's see, Texas, another big service center. I think Florida, actually, if you live in Florida. Did you say you live in Florida? No, you said, but you did say Nathan, Florida. So maybe possibly your dad lives in Florida, which would be nice, because I'm pretty sure that if he lives in Florida, the application would go to the Texas Service Center, and in that case, it's going to be just over a year, which is still a long time, as you can see, but much better than 3-4 years like other service centers. And then obviously, once the I-130 is reviewed and approved, the case is transferred to the NVC, and then you have to become documentarily qualified, and then you have to go for a visa interview. So there's a lot of steps that are involved in the process. So the sooner you start, the better. That's why I'm gonna go to forms, and I will find the form I-130, and I'll paste it in the comment. As you can see, it is available to file online, which I would highly recommend doing. So I'm gonna do this, post the response, link, and there we go. All right, let's move on to the next comment now from Shinuda Bekit. Shinuda, thank you very much for, looks like another 3 comments with some questions. And thank you for being publicly subscribed. I appreciate it. This is what this icon means. So Shinuda says, hi again, when I file the I-485, where do I pay the fees and how? Okay, so because the I-485 currently is not available online, so when you send the paper application package, you are just sending a personal check. Basically, that's the easiest thing to do. You can find all of that information on the forms page, on the actual I-485 form, and we're gonna go to right here, 485, click on this, and as you can see, filing fee right here. Let's see. So depending on which age you are, which under 14, you're not under 14, you're between 14 and 78. So forms fee is going to be 1,140, and then there's a biometric fee, so the total is 1,225. And you will be sending a personal check. You can also do the money order, but personal check is just fine. If you want to pay with a credit card, you can send the form G1450, which is authorization for the credit card transaction. But again, personal check is going to work just fine. All of that you can find in the instructions right here, instructions for form I-485. I know you still have a little bit of time for that, but you can start doing the research. It's good that you're being interested. Is a requirement there is a form called I-602. Do I have to do it? I'm not sure. Please clarify, and thank you so much. I-602. So let me check what that form is. The 602. Let's see. I-602, so application for refugee for waiver of inadmissibility grounds. No, you don't have to do that unless you have some kind of inadmissibility grounds, like for example felony or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of illness that you cannot go through the medical examination, or there is something that is basically making you inadmissible. So this is not for you. You don't have to deal with this as long as you don't have any inadmissibility grounds in your situation. Okay, so let me post the answer here, and we're gonna move on to your next comment. Hi again, can I, after getting the green card, travel to other countries for tourism with just a green card, or should I do anything else? Shinuda, yes, absolutely, you can definitely travel to other countries, but green card, keep in mind, it is for entry back into the United States. When you're traveling to other countries, you do need the passport in order to travel. Now, whenever it comes to literally most people, they have usually, a passport. Compared to asylees and refugees, a lot of times asylees and refugees, because they cannot go back to their country, because they cannot deal with the embassies of their countries here in the United States, they are unable to renew their passports. And a lot of times they're stuck in the United States of America up until the time, not really stuck in the United States of America, but they cannot really leave the United States and travel somewhere except maybe Canada, because for Canada, if you're driving, you don't need a passport. You're just showing the green card and you're good. But if you're planning to fly, for that international flying, you do need to have a passport. And obviously, if you're a refugee, asylee, and you cannot go back to your country to renew your passport, or you cannot go back to the embassy of your country in the United States and renew your passport, then you don't have a valid passport and you cannot travel. So keep that in mind. Green card is only for entering back into the United States, because you're showing that you're a permanent resident of the United States and you can get in. But for traveling around the world, you still need to have a passport. So as long as your passport from your country is valid, then you will be able to travel. Obviously, some of the things like visa, might be applicable depending on where you're traveling to. But you do need to have passport for that. Green card is only for entering the country. Okay, so let me post the answer here. Move on to your next comment. Hello, it's me again. As for my friend, I meant if he can apply for an asylum case and not to wait for his date in court in 2025, can he? Yes, absolutely. I mean, if I remember correctly, yes, you said it. So he's waiting. His court date now is in his removal proceedings or pending asylum amendment if he's eligible to apply for a work permit. So no, he's not eligible to apply for a work permit unless he applies for asylum and then it's pending for 150 days, more than 150 days. Then he will have eligibility to apply for a work permit. Right now, he doesn't have that eligibility. And yes, absolutely, he can apply for asylum, and I think he should apply for if he qualifies for asylum. Then he should apply for asylum because application for asylum is also an application for the withholding of the removal. It's basically allowing him to stay in the United States of America. So he definitely needs to keep that in mind. As for me, I hear some news that you don't have to wait 1 year period to apply for a green card after winning asylum case. What do you think? And if there is any new video on how to apply, that would be fantastic. Okay, so I do have the video very recently that I have made on the asylum. It's not updated yet. I know there was a change, so I haven't done the updated video yet. I'll probably be doing it in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, because I do have quite a busy schedule at the moment. But I'll definitely make it. I'll definitely make it the updated one. I have not heard of the news that they have removed that 1 year requirement. Maybe there is a conversation. Maybe something is floating around in the forums again. But you have to be very careful with the information that is floating around the internet, because a lot of times people post stuff in order to create clickbait for others to click on it and read it, because it pays, it brings traffic, whatever. But if you're looking for the information that is legit, USCIS, and at USCIS everywhere you look right now, it says that 1 year in asylum status, 1 year in refugee status before you can apply for a permanent residence. Okay, Shanuda, thank you very much for all your questions. Let's move on to the next one from Nekmi Din Turk 4443. Hello sir, I filed I-130 petition for alien relative for my daughter who lives in Turkey. Processing time is 2 months as of today. My question is, what should I expect in 2 months? Is that means my daughter will have visa to enter the United States, or they are going to give me another date for the interview? Okay, thank you very much for the question. Yes, so it really depends on which category, which family preference category your daughter falls in. If she's under 21, then she's in immediate relative category. Your petition will be processed relatively quick, depending, and as I was explaining to Nathan, Florida 25, depending on which service center your application went to. You've seen the numbers are quite different. There's some of the service centers they process much faster, some of the service centers they wait a little bit longer, but roughly you're looking somewhere at I would say about a year for your I-130 to be processed and then approved and then sent to the NVC for further processing. If it's immediate relative category, if your daughter is under 21. If your daughter is over 21 and you're a US citizen petitioning for your daughter, or you're a permanent resident petitioning for your daughter, it also depends on which status you are in, whether you're a permanent resident or US citizen. If you're a US citizen petitioning for your daughter and she's under 21, it's going to be immediate relative category. If you're a permanent resident and you're petitioning for your daughter and she's under 21, it's going to be F2A category, which is a family preference, second family preference category. And it does take some time because you have to wait for the availability of the immigrant visa, which as of right now is about, let's see, F2A, roughly about 3 years backlog there is on those immigrant visas. So if you can, Nigmi let me know in a separate comment which category your daughter is going to be in. You can, if you don't know, just let me know whether you're a permanent resident or a US citizen, and if your daughter is under 21 or over 21. Also, it would be helpful to know which state you filed from, so that I could actually take a look at the USCIS processing times for the correct service center, and kind of give you a rough overview of how long you will be waiting. But in general, immediate relative categories, you're probably looking at about 1.5 years, possibly 2 years, with the whole process with, becoming documentarily qualified, going through the medical examination, doing the interview at the embassy, getting the actual immigrant visa. So it might take some time. What I would recommend in the meantime is consider applying, your daughter applying for a non-immigrant visa so that she could come here, and visit you and not wait up until your petition is approved and up until she gets the immigrant visa. So if you can, let me know in the follow-up comment, and I might be able to give you some better estimates. Still very rough estimates, but better estimates. But make sure to submit, and that goes for everyone. If you have any follow-up questions, please submit it as a separate comment. Don't respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me the notification for those. Okay, let's move on to the next question comment from Ann Samuels 3916. Hello, sir, I guess, not sis. My priority date is 28/9/2019. Documentarily qualified in June 23. When will I get my interview? Letter, I love looking at your videos. Thank you. I am IR5. Interview will be done in Jamaica. Okay, thank you very much for a kind comment. So IR5, immediate relative category. So that's definitely great news right there. So since you were already documentarily qualified in June 2023, about a little bit more than a month ago, you're probably looking at another at least 6 months, I would say, because Jamaica, pretty busy U.S. embassy seems like. A lot of people immigrating from Jamaica. But just like I recommended earlier to somebody also from Jamaica, I'll give it another month and then give them a call and say, hey, I'm immediate relative category. My immigrant visa is already available. I'm already documentarily qualified, just waiting for my interview. Just calling to see if you guys can tell me when the interview was scheduled for. A lot of times they say we can't give you that information, but I know of the cases, quite a few cases, where they were like, oh yeah, sure, let's take a look, and then they give them. Again, keep it in mind that you're not going to get your interviews notice up until 30 days before the actual interview. So that's why I said probably another, you can potentially look at another 6 months waiting for the interview. But again, it's for the most part around the corner, because you've been waiting for quite a long time already, and you're in the immediate relative category, and you're still waiting since 2019, which is it's just a long time to wait for immediate relative category, honestly. I'm gonna post a link for the US Embassy. I already have it open here for Jamaica, and like I said, give it another month and then give them a call and see if they give you that information. Okay, moving further to the next comment from, let's see, there's read more right here from Munyam Margir 3906. Hi sir, if I am in category F2B and I get married, will that automatically change my category to F3? No. So F3 is US citizens. Is the married sons and daughters, obviously over 21, of US citizens. F2B, a second family preference category, is of the permanent residents. So that means that if you get married, then you no longer qualify for F2B. And in fact, you will have to wait up until the petitioner becomes a US citizen before they can petition for you in F3 category, which is a dilemma for sure, which I don't want to tell you that you cannot get married, but F3, married sons and daughters of US citizens. F2B is only for unmarried sons and daughters, 21 years of age. So yes, permanent residents, they cannot petition for their sons and daughters who are married. Yes, talk about how unfair the immigration is, right? It's ridiculous. But it's the case, unfortunately. And so keep that in mind. Okay, let's read further. Also, if my parent dies while I haven't managed to join them, does that mean that my application will be forfeited, or will I still be able to come to the US? So if the parent passes away, if the petitioner passes away, there is actually a stipulation in the legislation where the petition is not forfeited, but you do have to find someone who is willing to take over the sponsorship of of the application, basically of the petition, of the I-130 petition, which can be really, really difficult, and a lot of times impossible for some people to find somebody who is willing to become a main sponsor on the petition. Because it's already not easy to be a sponsor even for relatives. But imagine someone who is not related and who would be willing to petition. So yes, it's possible for you to still come to the U.S., but if that situation arises, if it happens, then you would have to, this is something to keep in mind, you would have to find someone who will be willing, and the petition has to be obviously already approved. If it's not approved yet, then obviously, then it is forfeited. But if I-130 was already approved by USCIS and it is already at the NVC, in that case, you would have to find someone who would be willing to sponsor that petition instead of your parent. So thank you very much, everyone, for all your questions today. Like I said, if you have any follow-up questions, you are more than welcome to post them. Just make sure to post them as a separate comment so that I do get them on this wall of comments that is in front of me. If you have any suggestions for make these videos better, if you need translations, let me know. That's one of the things that I started working more and more on this channel. The videos that are being watched the most on this channel, I do translate them by request to different languages so that people, for some people it's easier to understand. And actually the membership on this channel, that there is a paid membership on this channel, I think it's like $1 a month. That's the money that I use for those translations. So thank you very much for all your support. Thank you very much for watching, for your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.